direct from the beautiful Inland Blue Studios. Honey, this is the Nerdlife Crisis podcast with your hosts, that fine-ass Chris Thayer, that beautiful Steve Hale, and that big hunker chunk of meat, Ron Milts. Woo! Mama's hot up in here. Let's get this party started.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerdlife Crisis. Here with your host today,
Chris Thayer,
Steve Hale,
and I'm Ron Milts, and we're back for part 2 of our epic doubleheader. So we just got done recapping Comic-Con. We got a few more of these trailers we need to talk about, you guys. So let's get into it. I have an absolute fucking man crush on Jason Momoa. That guy can't, like, no man, you could not convince me that Aquaman was
cool. This fucking guy, man.
Dude, that guy owned that room.
You're like you're too fucking cool, dude. I watched a goddamn 10-minute commercial.
Yeah.
Of him talking and showing videos, footage of him with his kids and shit, and like building ramps, and he's just telling a story about who he is.
And Lisa Bonet, and
just a little bit,
Is he married to Lisa Bonet?
Dude,
I did not know that.
It was a fucking commercial for selling pants for Carhartt. It didn't even mention it till the end of it, dude. Yeah. And you're just like, by the end of it, you're like, I want to fucking hang out with this guy. We're going to fucking drink beers. We're going to fucking throw tomahawks. Right? We're going to build a half pipe. This guy's fucking cool as fuck, man.
He showed up, dude, with the Aquaman like trident,
yeah,
and was like running through the crowd, fucking high fiving.
Oh, that's
people.
cool.
And
fuck.
He gets up on stage and he's like, yeah, and the crowd, like, I haven't seen the crowd go nuts like that since Tom Hiddleston came out.
Oh,
as Loki.
yeah.
And everybody was like, yeah, and he's like, are you guys excited for Aquaman? And people are like, we fucking love Aquaman. And I'm like, those words have been spoken.
Exactly,
before.
that too. I'm like, fuck, this fucking dude's gonna make me fucking like Aquaman. Right. He's gonna make this fucking dude cool. Fuck.
At a certain point, like, they showed the new Justice League trailer, which you guys have all seen at this point, and we're going to talk about next.
Yeah.
But none of the actors had seen it. And so they got done, and the actors, and it was like the 5 of them, which was Affleck and Gal Gadot and fucking Flash, whose name escapes me, Ezra Miller, and the guy that plays Cyborg, who I don't know his name, and then Khal Drogo. And they get up, and they're like, everyone's like hugging and like so good, and Jason Momoa proceeds to destroy his director's chair. He's so excited. He takes the chair, and he's like, ah! And he fucking starts smashing it on the ground like he's a rock star, and he throws it behind him, and he's like, ah! And everyone's like, ah! And then they're like, okay, we're going to take audience questions now. And then he goes, oh.
Shit, I don't have a chair anymore. Fuck.
And so he's like sitting on the ground, and some lowly stage manager comes out with like a fresh chair that she obviously got from storage, and they're like trying to put the other chair back together that he's destroyed. It was great though.
That's awesome.
But and then they showed it didn't find its way online, but they showed sort of the first teaser of Aquaman, which they really haven't shot anything enough to really. They're like, well, we barely started shooting. We don't have anything. So they showed like 2 dudes fishing in a boat, and then like an underwater sea armada essentially goes under the boat. Like they get hooked on, and then you see, and it's all Aquaman, And so it's like, all right, that was cool. But dude, seriously, this guy's making me fucking love Aquaman.
Yeah, dude.
To which I'm sitting here going, how was, like, this guy was Conan a few years ago,
right?
In a not very good Conan movie.
Yeah,
Depends on who you ask.
Did you like that?
Ask my wife and my daughters; they'll tell you it was the greatest movie ever made.
I am obviously a fan of the original Conan, so it was, It
was a little like not. It was like funny Conan.
Yeah, you made it PG-13 and
right.
Shit,
it wasn't.
So,
and that's what I told Chris. I was like,
it's a little disappointing.
But now let me ask you this: if they were like, we're gonna make another Conan with Jason Momoa, but go rated R, would you be excited about that?
Yes.
I'd
be in.
I'm all somebody who has that fucking Conan license. Do it again. Like you fucked up. Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it one more time now. Like it's time.
Barbarian is in his name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
He's not Conan the fucking jokester, which is kind of what it was. So
it's cutting off fucking heads.
Yeah.
Shit like that, dude.
The lamentations of their women and all that bullshit.
Right.
I
want to see topless chicks.
But
But
yeah, man. But so the Justice League trailer. Did you get to see the new Justice League trailer?
Yes. Yeah.
More, less on board.
I'm on board, dude.
They found some color finally.
And I know you like that.
Well, I don't. I just like it's the Justice League. It should be exciting.
Yeah, I don't want these morose motherfuckers, dude.
Look at these morose.
I'm not here for fucking pathos and what have you. Fucking
right? No, it looks. I'll check it out.
I was excited, man.
I'm going into it. I mean, dude, it's got Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman.
Oh, right.
She is
and
just,
they really featured the shit out of her.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous, dude. In real
Oh,
life.
absolutely, dude. I saw her. Some little girl was dressed like, Wonder Woman. She took some time to talk to the little girl. That's pretty cool.
She is.
I like that.
Between her and Charlize Theron, and we had fantastic seats, by the way. I was probably, there was the very first section, and we were, right behind where the questions were being answered.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't need to look at the giant goddamn screen. I can see them clearly.
Yeah.
As normal people, probably less than 50 feet from where I am.
Right.
And, wow. First off, Charlize Theron's 42.
Mm-hmm.
And
God damn it, I'm 42.
And none of us look half as good as she does at 42.
Well, I got a lot of money.
Well, she's unbelievably gorgeous. But Gal Gadot, same thing.
Yeah.
But Affleck, so I get up because they're like, oh, Aquaman's out there, and they show the Aquaman clip. I thought they were going to go to questions, so I'm like, I got to pee. I'm going to run up and go to the bathroom while nobody's there and come back. So I'm huffing over to the bathroom, and right when I get to where the bathroom is, sort of in the back of Hall H, frickin' Affleck and Ezra Miller walk right by me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm all, oh, dude, Affleck is jacked.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you've gotten a pretty good chest and arms going right now. This dude, holy shit.
Right.
He is so, God bless him, at 45, 50
Well, look
years
at fucking
old.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Hey, let me fucking tell you, dude. That's fucking trend, and that's some fucking... They're taking shit.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. They're not
Absolutely.
competing, so it's
Dude,
not like it's...
listen, professionals, fucking professional bodylifters, take a look at those guys and go, you don't get those kinds of fucking results. Just throwing a fucking ball at the fucking wall. You're not getting that from your fucking your Joe Blow fucking CrossFit fucking
Right.
class down the street.
Well,
you know?
Charlize Theron was talking during her thing because she was talking about Atomic Blonde. And
Yeah.
she was like, I work out, for this movie, it was 5 hours a day at the gym.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
6 months before
Jesus.
shooting.
Right.
Every day, 5 hours.
God.
Bare minimum. Mm-hmm. She's like, and then when you get into shooting, you still have to go, you shoot, and you're still at the gym for 2 hours after 12 hours of shooting.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
before, one or the other, depending on the call. But yeah, man, that Justice League trailer, they definitely a lot more focus on Wonder Woman. The colors looked a little brighter.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't quite as dour. It still felt like the Zack Snyder film.
Yeah.
But Affleck came out and was really big on I didn't know that they had released an article on Friday because I was at Comic-Con that basically said he was getting kicked out as Batman.
Yeah, I saw some of that going across Facebook.
Yeah, and then Saturday that he was like, no. I'm super excited to be here. I love being Batman. It's an honor to be back. He's smiling about it. So,
Yeah.
You would be stupid to walk away from Batman. Is
Well,
basically
and that's what he said.
said.
He's like, it's the greatest honor ever. And everybody's like, okay, good for you, Ben. No, I didn't nobody asked,
Yeah.
But apparently, they had all that shit come out, man.
Well, there's been rumors for a while that he was talking about leaving. And I think I even posted something on our Facebook about that where I ripped on the guy. I'm like, you motherfucker, you're in.
Right.
We invested in you. You're Batman now. You can't leave.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as things go, I mean, I was blown away by a lot of what WB did. But I think the thing that the Blade Runner sequel looked great.
I'm excited about that
Very
one.
Blade Runner,
Yeah.
and they have definitely fleshed out what's happened in that world over 29, 30 years or however long it's been in their timeline. And in fact, because WB, they do this unbelievable presentation where they pull back and the screens are on the side and everything, and you got the screen up front as well. And they ran the timeline of exactly what's happened in the world.
Okay.
And it was voiced, Edward James Olmos did the voiceover,
Wow.
where he was like, it's all 2019, blah, blah, blah happens. So basically what's happened in our Blade Runner future now is that replicants, we've expanded to off-world, further, and so what's left on Earth is essentially dying, and it's basically
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
but it's 50-50 now between replicants and humans. It's half and half on the
Yeah.
planet, and essentially the human race is dying on the planet.
Right.
And so but there's still not a longevity to replicants, so it's interesting. So it looks great. Totally tonally looks like they showed a clip that was the most boring clip I've ever watched in my life of people talking. I'm this is
Just some dialogue in the
it's-
second act. You're
it
fuck me.
It really was. It's all, here's Ryan Gosling talking to this woman about replicants, and I'm all, That sure is Blade Runner. Sure is a lot of talking going on.
Right.
Very slowly.
Yeah.
Very dour. So
everything looks like it has jaundice in that world. And, I mean, I love it. I've loved Blade Runner since I was a little guy, before I really even knew what I was watching.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was a little above me at that age. You know.
Yeah. It's above a lot of people.
Yeah,
now.
it grew. It was definitely one that I liked, but it grew on me in my understanding of the story.
And Blade Runner was one of those movies that there's so many alternate fucking cuts of it.
Oh my god! Don't even get me fucking started
There's
on
5
that,
alternate
dude.
cuts
Yeah,
that
it's
I
crazy,
own.
dude. Yeah.
That you're like, would you like to watch the original theatrical cut or the second cut? Or would you
crazy,
like to
man.
watch the one without the voiceover?
Yeah.
Or the super edition? Or the
I think there's
director's
supposed to be
edition?
another one out there, but they're like, no, we're just not gonna do it.
The director had a great one, and he's this French director, and he gets up there and he's like, they asked me why I wanted to direct Blade Runner, and I told them because I do not want somebody else to fuck it up. I love this movie, so I took the job. And I was like, great answer, man.
All right.
But Ready Player One, dude.
Saw the preview for this one.
Haven't
Excited
read
about
this book,
this, dude.
but man, oh man, I think I need to.
Yeah.
So, man, I just blown away by how much was in this movie.
I mean, look at all the pop culture. I mean, you got Iron Giant behind there, and there's fucking Batman's riding a fucking octopus fucking machine or something. I mean, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Dude, this Ready Player One thing, like he walks into the bar or wherever it is in this. So the concept is sort of like Earth is overpopulated, so the last bastion that people can go to is VR, and they go into this alternate world. And so, but that first shot when he walks in the bar, he walks by Deadshot and Harley. Mm-hmm. And then it's like all of a sudden the pop culture references come at you.
Yeah.
You know, and so like there's this big car race sequence that was in that trailer.
And when they're saying overpopulated, we mean like pallet racks with cars on them,
Like China.
and that's home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, China's like that right
Oh,
now.
I've seen
in the
those. I've
cities.
seen those cell block things
Right.
that they're fucking living in.
That's
dude.
crazy,
They're
man.
crates.
It's way crazy.
They're in like
dude.
dog crates
yeah,
and shit.
It's,
But
it's
this,
crazy.
but this concept of this movie, I'm blown away by it.
Yeah.
And I guess I need to read the source material to understand why they're obsessed with the 1980s, like
Right.
400 years in the future, and why there's all the 80s references. But it's just like it was like the fucking Back to the Future car, the
Yeah.
18 car was in there, the Akira motorcycle showed up for a hot second.
I missed that.
The Mad Max fucking car was there.
Okay, yeah.
Like it was like I'm blown away. The Iron Giant, like the Iron
Yeah.
Giant got a huge reaction
Right,
in the room.
dude. Iron Giant right now is really super, like pop culture
Why is that?
hot.
Oh, because all the people that were kids
All
when
those,
that came
yeah,
out.
all those little kids.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know that I've
it's
ever
like
seen
it's
all
like
of
a
that.
millennial
it's-
thing.
it's brilliant,
Trust me,
dude.
my friends who are in their kind of mid to late 20s right now, Iron Giant is huge with them, dude. Huge.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I showed
that
to my
goddamn
sister.
Stefan
that,
was one of the
that
guys
fucking,
on that.
That toy, $800. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the one that came out when the movie came out?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
But this movie, this Ready Player One, like, I think the thing that we didn't see in it is how much of that world inside the world, it's all fucking motion capture. Like, I think it's all, like, all those creepy, like, Polar Express movies and all
Yeah.
that shit that and it's that, what's that movie he did? That French cartoon. It was the boy and his dog and their
Oh.
Tintin.
Tint.
Oh.
Did you ever
okay.
see that?
I did not.
Like the motion capture on that was really strong. Like
Yeah.
it was really well done, and I think that's like this is that next logical evolution, and you're
Yeah.
gonna do it through storytelling, you know. And I think like everything I've seen, I'm like, this looks dope, dude. Like I'm
Yeah.
really blown away.
Yeah, I saw that preview and I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
It's cool. I don't have any idea really what it's about. I just,
Like I said, I think I need to read the source material.
Yeah, I was like,
because it looks.
this looks
fantastic.
cool. Let's fucking go. You know?
So the last thing we got to talk about, and then we're gonna wrap this up. We got to talk about that Walking Dead trailer, you guys.
Oh man.
So
It's a lot to that. It was a couple minutes. At
Dude, we
least.
got Total War coming, man. It's gonna be awesome.
like I'm really hoping that like people that complained about the first half of that season understand why we trudged through so much to get to all this, because it should be a ton of action.
Yeah.
Like there should be a
They're selling it like it is.
And you know what, people? Guess what? There's gonna be a ton of dead characters.
we're
so
gonna clear the fucking path.
yeah.
here,
So if you
know?
had a favorite,
Get attached.
Don't get attached, or start making your bets now, because
although I was really disappointed.
Start your Deadpool up, if you will.
Yeah, the people from the Up showed up in the trailer.
Oh, I was so pissed.
Let them die quickly, man.
Anytime I see them, I'm like, God damn it.
I think they're setting them up to be the Whisperers. I really do.
Rick, you hooked up with the dirty trash people. That's so funny.
Yep.
But I think, and then they're going to do the time jump, I think, at the end of the season. Or they might open the season with old Rick, and then just do the whole thing, you know? So, but they showed in the trailer, like, the 2 years from now, graying Rick with the beard, and after he gets fucked up by Negan, you know? So, But this all-out war, man, you're going to lose some folks, and I think I'm going to lose Jerry. I think Jerry's not going to make it, man. Really,
I know,
Jerry's
dude.
expendable.
Jerry's my new favorite character.
All right, I love Jerry, dude.
Jerry's
I'm with
fun,
Ron on
dude.
this, man.
Jerry is like he's like my Hodor from the Walking Dead universe.
He's like, it gives me hope that somebody this...
simple.
I was looking for the word joyful.
I want Simple
jovial,
Jack to make it.
To make it through this length of the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, dude,
you know?
he's cosplaying in the apocalypse.
Yeah,
he's
it's
so
like it's
happy.
fun, dude. It's like, you know,
And he got to use his axe in the trailer. I was like, yes, Jerry fucking brained a dude. Yes. But yeah, I think we're definitely in the trailer. They showed them gathering the horde of zombies, which they never showed in the comic, which I think is interesting.
Right.
Like, I think we'll get an episode of them like going in to fight essentially and gathering the horde that they're gonna take, and then they go in and they fight with Negan, and they're like, we don't even have to do anything. We're just leaving, and there's a horde of zombies that are gonna surround you now. So good luck with that. Fuck off,
I like how that it's taken them this long to kind of learn how to use the zombies.
Right,
I mean, the wolves learned to weaponize them pretty quickly.
Fucking time ago.
right?
So,
and these jackasses. But yeah, man, and it was a 5-minute trailer, dude. That's a long ass trailer.
Yeah.
Like this is no Game of Thrones bullshit where like here's 30 seconds of a dragon roaring. Good luck with that. You know?
Right. Winter's coming.
Eventually.
Still.
Did anybody else laugh at that moment where it's like, winter's here? Like, I guess.
I was just thinking to myself the whole time he's trying to make them believe about the White Walkers. And it's like
He did like the worst job ever.
well, it's just like, you guys have been talking about this winter coming for so fucking long. I mean, how long can I fucking believe your line of bullshit, man? I mean, is it gonna come?
Are we ready to transition to Game of Thrones? I was gonna.
I don't know.
I mean, we can do a quick overview of the 3rd episode. I mean, we can just briefly talk about it. But I have one complaint with Game of Thrones at this point, which is we live in a world where fucking dragons exist.
Yes.
Okay.
I know where you're going with this.
We live in a world where fucking there's like crazy like infected zombie people down in Old Valeria. We live in a world where people have been resurrected from the dead. Where yet when somebody goes, the army of the dead is coming, everyone's like,
That's ridiculous.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
As I gaze upon these dragons and I go, that's amazing.
That have been extinct for centuries.
Yeah.
And it's like if we lived in a world where thousands of years ago they were like at one point during the long night in the up dead people fucking roamed the land and almost destroyed us all.
You would believe them if fucking just at that you'd be like,
yeah,
I
believe that.
Yeah.
I'm totally supporting that.
This chick survived being burnt alive not once,
not twice,
3 times the charm.
Without her clothes each time.
Right? And she's skeptical about
She's
something.
all, dead people. That's army of the dead. That's
silly.
Dragon glass. That's sad.
I did like Bran, the new 3-eyed raven, talking in his fucking cryptic. And you know what? There's another thing. Does anybody else see the face in the tree?
Like, what the hell is that?
Right?
I think it was carved in, you guys.
It really weirds me out, dude. I'm like, oh, it's a creepy tree, man. Creepy tree.
And they all keep going back to it.
And then he's just like, she's like, after he tells her what he had seen, she's like, I've got to go.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll just stay here for a while. Like, bitch, you ain't going anywhere. I don't know if you checked or not. Nobody's coming to get you. You're just going to lay here.
Wait. That's what I'm saying. He's crippled. I'll sit here for a while.
I'm just going to stay here.
I'm just going to go for a crawl. Go for a drag.
Oh fuck!
But
man.
here's my thing: if I'm sitting here with you, Steve, and you're like, I'm the three-eyed raven, and I'm like, well, what does that mean? And you're like, do you remember on your wedding night when you were raped? You look so beautiful. I'd be like, okay, we need to talk. My response would not be like, trigger warning, I gotta leave. I'd be like, okay, what the fuck else do you know? And tell me now.
Oh fuck, man! As soon as you start talking like I'm the three-eyed raven, I'm already out.
Also, like that happened. That transformation into like.
Seer.
But serious acting, Bren.
Yeah.
Happened fairly quickly because last season he was like, well, Heidi Ho, three-eyed raven, let's go for a walk into my past. And now he's like, I am the three-eyed raven. And you're like, whoa. What's going on here, man? But
I bet the chick has been dragging him around. Could not wait to fucking drop him at his ass off
not only
somewhere.
that, her fucking calves and arms would look so ridiculous
I know,
at
right?
this point.
Yeah.
Like, she'd be jacked.
But what was the point of Grandmother Willow? Like, what the fuck is that
Grandmother
all about?
Willow.
Yeah, the tree with the face.
That's been there since season 1, dude.
But why?
They're all over the goddamn
Those
place.
trees are everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's the trees from like
just
the old the before 4 times.
They just creep me out, man.
Were they like living trees?
No,
at some
they're just
point, or what?
dude, they carve faces into the trees.
But
and,
look
like,
at the
worship
one
them.
in the fucking on the other side of the wall, man. It was fucking like bleeding out its eyes, man. We gotta go.
I thought it was like Pocahontas.
Fucking
shit or
trees,
something.
man. Fucking trees don't have faces, and they sure don't bleed out their eyes. I'm out.
Well, I think for me, my absolute favorite part of the episode, because I'm kind of like Daenerys' name is getting pretty long, and I'm getting
Holy
it's like
shit.
a fucking intro to the show at this point where I'm all, I do not need to hear how much. I don't need to hear all of her fucking accomplishments every time she meets somebody new. But goddamn it, we certainly are. And I
Right.
just love that moment when Jon Snow looks at Davos and he's all, "This is Jon Snow. He's king of the North." It was so perfect because Jon has a litany of shit he could talk about, but they're like, "Yeah, he's king."
Yeah.
How great was that scene with the two of them?
Oh, dude, I have rewatched that scene 6 times.
Go back and just focus on the subtleties in their expressions. It's fucking genius.
Yeah.
there's a lot.
It is insane what goes on.
And it's just like you can almost feel John's frustration the entire time for that exact reason where he's like we're all like fucking children crying over shit that doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, get your shit together. Jon Snow is me in everyday life where I'm like, all you fucking people are insane about shit that doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, you're not focused on the White Walkers.
Right.
You know? Like, you're worried about this and that and the other. None of that fucking matters. This is what matters over here. But no. We got to be all fucking uppity about this, that, and the other. You know? It just I'm staying out of specifics, but that idea of that's how I feel poor John is. John's like, none of you have seen what I've seen. You know? You don't know. They're going to fucking rape you and kill you, and it's not going to matter because you'll be dead.
Well, just how at the battle of at the Wildling Village,
Hard home.
Yeah.
and then everything fucking just got back up.
Yeah.
You know.
And he's like, the army of the dead is coming.
And the Night King's like, "Where are you going, buddy?" He's like, "I'm not your buddy, pal."
I'm not your guy, buddy. And you know what I love? I love when he's in talking with all the people in the previous episode, and they're like, "Yo, crazy, you can't go to Dragonstone." He's like, "Fuckers, you don't get it. We need help."
But they had a point. They're like, every fucking time one of you fucking guys goes south, you're not coming back, man. You're not
They're all
fucking
like,
coming back.
All right. Well, he's fucking
Yep,
dead.
he's this fucking guy, dude.
And not to be a dick, but when did Sansa learn about armoring and all of her?
what was that?
I get it. They're showing she's when she's all, why aren't they putting leather on that armor? I'm like, don't you think the armor is well, we haven't reached that point in the process yet. Chill the fuck out, you know?
Yeah,
We're still
I
hitting
miss
it with a hammer.
I miss the part where first she was kind of held captive at King's Landing, and then she was really on the run. That she was taking classes in blacksmithing and stuff. You know, I did kind of find that a little strange myself.
She did have that trip with Brienne.
But it's
yeah, you know, she had a little overnighter thing,
you
and
do a little brush up.
I feel like it's she's
crash
like an
course.
episode of Top Chef where she walks in as the judge and it's what are you doing here? This is terrible. Add more salt, and just walks away. And they're like, the fuck was Tom on? What was going on with him? You know?
and I'm like, what? you guys are making this fucking armor. Why does she have to remind you? Shouldn't you already know this, man? I mean, it looks like you fucking know what you're doing for the most part.
Right.
I mean, it looked like a fucking breastplate. You know, where's the rest of it?
Was somebody wearing the breastplate that you were like? I could understand if the soldiers came in and they were like, "Hey, why is there no leather on this?" But the guy's like, "It's like, bitch, I'm working on this. Chill the fuck out."
I mean, you
know?
are supposed to be in the north. You should already fucking know this, right? Like, everybody should fucking...
Well, I love that they keep talking about winter's coming, but it's been snowing the entire motherfucking series up there.
Oh, I tell you, dude.
But I think winter's gonna get super cold.
I tell you, the
They're hinting
fucking...
at.
I said the last episode, man, the Starks got fucking hosed
Oh, yeah.
in their kingdom compared to everybody else.
Winters all the time.
I mean, they just have some fucking huts, really.
Yeah.
And
You
also
know?
the size of this castle seems to like when they do outside shots, this castle looks fucking epic. And then they get inside and it's just that courtyard
Yeah.
every time.
Right.
And they're like, well, the whole north will need to come to Winterfell. And I'm all, yes, all 9 of us will need to come
Yeah.
here and
Right.
hang out in the castle.
I mean, it was still a good episode, and then
great, dude.
obviously the end with Lady Tyrell and her.
Such a
She pulled
boss,
out her
dude.
lady balls and
Her-
just like
her
sat 'em on
final-
the table there.
her
It was,
put 'em right on his
I
face.
thought for sure Jaime Lannister was going to pull his fucking sword out
I
and
thought so,
fucking
too.
cut her head off
what's
right
she
there.
gonna? What, I mean, what? She's already gonna die. Like how?
I would-
You can't hurt me at this
If
point.
somebody were to tell me that you killed my son like that, I would have chopped your fucking head off.
But think about what that means now, because Jaime's the one that fucking let Tyrion loose.
Right.
Right? So now you've got this situation where he's like, all of like my dad, my sister, everybody wanted to kill my brother, and he didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like
He did kill Dad.
Yeah, but that's after the fact.
Yeah,
Right.
the accusation led to that.
Exactly. So
His treatment of him, too.
right.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, but specifically, this whole like all the situation you're in now with the fucking like the Martells, you know, with the war that you're in right now, all a direct result of the fucking accusations against Tyrion.
Yeah.
That like now it's like now Jaime's got to go back to Cersei, who's slowly becoming the Mad Queen, you know.
Yeah.
And basically go like,
She's such a boss, dude.
yeah, but what is like he's got to be on his end going, we could bring our brother home, like we don't have, he shouldn't, like he didn't kill, you know, your son, but she doesn't give a fuck. Like she,
Now, it's even before that, she's hated him since birth. She
Right.
she
Well, he killed the mother.
yeah, she holds him responsible for the death of her mother, and you know he's also in that world.
but don't you think
a
that's going to be
freak,
the wedge that
you know?
fucking drives between them? Because there's, I mean,
I
this
don't
shows-
know, dude. When you're banging your sister like that at this point, I don't think anything is gonna.
Well,
drive
and I
a
thought it
wedge
was
between
nice that they brought in some
yeah.
Romulans into the show. Like
I
a
tell
little
you,
Romulan servant.
they fucking they jumped in. They jump. Well, even fucking what's her name? Stark, the redhead. We were just talking about her.
Sansa.
She got into the Romulan costume closet too, dude. You know?
And Cersei with her fucking spikes on her shoulders. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, Star Trek is really making a good comeback
That,
here.
you know,
man.
it's got that Jolene Blaylock haircut and
Right.
shit. You know, I mean,
I'm waiting for her
Yeah.
to be like, Captain, there are
Right.
something off the starboard bow, you know?
fucking birds of prey all over the fucking place.
Yeah, man, but that, the scene, and goddamn that Euron Greyjoy isn't the most delightful human being on the planet.
Holy shit, he's my new. He's my new favorite character right now.
He's got
in
dude,
the series.
Did you
dude.
lose your shit when he said finger in the bum?
Yeah.
That shit was so funny.
He's like, well, we need to have a brotherly talk. Like, how she like it? Hard. Finger in the bum. I'm like, I like this guy.
Yeah, this guy.
He don't give a
What's unfortunate is we didn't have more of him in previous seasons.
Right.
I could have used some more.
Well,
of him
he was
for sure.
introduced in the 4th book, so he should have been introduced in season 4.
No, okay.
And they didn't. They
Oh.
basically held him until the very, like, for a moment in season 5, and then a little bit in 6, and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, okay, here we are, you know? And it's
I didn't have enough
now
of
you're
him.
like, he's so wonderful.
And right now we need to have some more Podrick and Ron's
Right.
Ron's stunt double.
Where the hell was Podrick?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Well, he was getting his ass kicked.
there.
But, yeah, he was training in that first episode. But
Right.
We've reached kind of a weird point where, like, a lot of the characters that are sort of the tertiary characters, because we've got to the end game, they're just
Yeah.
sort of there, not
yeah,
doing
they're
anything.
kind of background characters
like
again.
Brienne hasn't done shit all season. She
Right.
sat in a meeting last week brooding.
Yeah.
Right? Tormund basically disappeared after episode 1, which bums me the fuck out.
Yeah.
What's Jaime's Bronn? Bronn, I don't think has had a line this season, has he?
What's going to happen when they come across Tyrion?
I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a game changer, I think. Like,
Yeah.
that information, like, we as viewers knew that information.
No, wait a minute. I'm still confused as to who the hell is Jon Snow's parents.
Rhaegar,
I know
it's Rhaegar Targaryen and
so the Mad King.
Leon. No, the Mad King's brother.
Okay.
So the Mad King was why can't I think of his name?
Well, it doesn't matter, but
it's Rhaegar. It's Rhaegar and Lyanna. So the one that you know how Robert Baratheon at the beginning of the Fat Robert was like, your sister, I loved her, I should have married her, and they go down to the crypt all the time and see her bones and blah blah blah. She was Jon Snow's mom.
Okay.
But that was the big secret for the whole time.
So Jon Snow and Daenerys are
cousins.
Yep. All right. I've trying forever to figure it out. And I didn't want to go back and rewatch everything to figure out like that fucking clue that was like 4 seasons ago.
So they're cousins, and there's been an ongoing theory because it's like Tyrion's going to be like the third one. So I still think this show, because this show is like, you always think it's like, oh, it's gonna be predictable. Like, we're gonna have this, like, the left turn.
There hasn't been to me, there hasn't been a predictable fucking thing, I don't think, in the fucking show.
I shouldn't say, I'm sorry. What I meant to say is we're getting towards the end, so it's like, it feels like certain things are going to happen, you know?
I wasn't a book reader, so to me, everything was a fucking surprise. Even when I was watching season 1, and they fucking cut off Ned Stark's head, and I was like, this motherfucking guy
was the star of the show.
He can't survive a fucking show to save his fucking life, dude.
He doesn't live in anything.
Fuck, he gets killed in every fucking thing he's in, man.
But I think what I'm trying to say is, like, when you get to the end of something, like, you kind of think you know where things are going to be going. And I think, like, this week once again proves that this show, like, will always continually throw you for a loop.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was like, they're going to fucking battle at the Rock. It's going to be dope. Like, the Unsullied are going to fight the Lannister forces. We're going to get this big battle.
I like how he was telling. I like the way they filmed it, though. Him telling the story.
Right. About the toilets.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, in the book, actually, that whole idea of Tyrion basically having that in was set up, like, 4 books ago.
Oh, yeah.
Because he basically was like, yeah, my dad, with the horrors, my dad wasn't okay with me bringing in the Casterly Rock, but I was in charge of the sewers, so I built my own.
He had always brought up the thing about the whores, dude. Always. I mean, from the beginning.
Like, what a brilliant twist, right?
Right.
But then for Jaime to basically learn from his mistakes against Robb, and, like, my army's not where you think it's going to be, and they fucking took it, and then, like, the Tyrells, that's the end of the Tyrell line.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a lot of lines that are ending. Like, the Dornish, like, all the Martells, they're gone.
How dope was that scene in the dungeon with those 2 girls?
All the
the mother and the daughter.
Oh,
that was so hard.
The last Sand Snake, and then I can't think of her name. But yeah, man, like, but you've reached this point with Cersei now, where Cersei is fucking, like, become. She was always kind of unlikable, but now I'm like,
oh, are you kidding? I love her.
Really?
Oh, I relate to her more and more as we go on.
I can't.
Because she's getting back one by one at every motherfucker who took something from her.
I like Jon Snow.
I'm a Jon Snow fan.
Dude, think about all the people that
I don't care who wins,
but they were
Jon Snow and Tyrion.
But everything that she got, she had coming to her.
I kind of get all that.
Her. Well, you can't really say about it, her daughter, but her sons were.
Yeah, but
the first one was bad. The second one
sure.
was manipulated into what he became by her.
Right.
I mean, everything. I mean, dude. She's gotten, and it was predicted
that all
by the
shit would
witch
happen, right?
in the woods that this would happen.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We had a bunch of people still missing this week. Where's Ari?
Right.
I saw something. I didn't read it because I don't want to know, but something that said maybe she was in that episode somewhere.
Oh, there's like people are thinking that she didn't go to Winterfell and that she was down in. She instead went to King's Landing after she bumped into her wolf Nymeria. And that she was basically or is going to become that servant, and that's how Cersei's going to die. So, I mean, like at this point. Like she's like face changing powers, so
right.
Like
she could be anybody.
Although I'm a little confused by the face changing powers. Like, can she change height as well? Because she's like 5'1", so like
All right.
Any 5-foot person in any scene, you're all fucking Ari. That's Ari right there.
All right.
but yeah, man.
Takes off the man. It's old man Withers. Fuck, dude.
I've always gotten away with it too.
Yeah.
For you meddling kids. Cool. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up right there. Like,
Yeah.
that was a big plus size episode for everybody.
Do we have like 2 minutes?
If you got something to say,
Dude.
go ahead.
Okay, so the wife had a birthday last week, so we thought I'll take her to the Improv out in Ontario.
Oh, I thought this was going to lead to some sort of like
Does
group sex
she like
thing
it rough?
or something.
No, dude.
All right. I was
No.
like, ooh.
So we go to the Improv. I sent you a text. Shaun Wayons is the star that night.
You mean the Shaun Wayons?
Yes, of Wayans Brothers.
The Wayans Brothers.
Yes.
One of my personal favorites.
And it was the worst fucking stand-up I've ever seen.
Guy's been riding on their brother's name.
He was so awful.
Yeah.
I could not get over how cliche every fucking joke he told was.
Yeah.
I mean, and I quickly made a list. I love how this motherfucker disappears anytime I start talking. Fucking Ron, dude. Here's the list. He made fun of Asian drivers being bad drivers.
Okay.
He obviously went for the cliche big black dicks, uptight white people.
Yeah.
He did 10 fucking minutes making fun of a deaf girl. Like 10 minutes of like really old played out deaf jokes. 5 minutes on Filipinos where he made fun of the nail salons.
Wait, don't they already there's like a lady that does that bit?
Fucking everybody does these bits.
Okay,
That's what you missed. He did.
No, I didn't miss it.
He did
here.
gay TSA agents grabbing his dick. How many fucking times have you heard that shit on a comedy routine? He made fun of today's music, like today's hip hop, which is every fucking comedian I've ever seen.
The mumble rap.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
And being a dad, which is straight out of fucking Chris Rock's special.
Well,
you know,
I mean, what
and
kind of asshole would talk about being a dad?
No. But being a dad and your kids listening to the music that you used to listen to.
I mean, what kind of fucking asshole will go ahead and pay money
to see Shaun
to go
Wayans?
see fucking Shaun Wayans?
Knowing that you don't fucking like Shaun Wayans.
Well, I don't know anything about him. Steve doesn't like him.
Now, when you had an opportunity to go to the group sex party and you fucking passed up on that to go to this instead.
No.
This is true.
I don't know anything about this guy. I just, I know he was in like Scary Movie and those fucking terrible movies.
Yeah.
I've never really watched him, so I don't know anything about him. But I know Carrie likes those movies. And even she was like, that was not good.
His fucking stand-up is just like the jokes he does in his shitty movies.
Fucking way worse. Way worse.
So I have to ask, how many American dollars did you spend to go see
Oh,
Shaun
it was
Wayans?
not a lot. It was cheap.
Like more than one?
Now, here's the funny thing for me.
Fucking
is
10 at the door, the fucking...
It was like $20.
2
$20
drinks
each. It was not good.
You had to buy 2 drinks inside.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
2 drinks at the bar.
But his niece, who's from the poor side of the family that didn't benefit from all the Wayans money, opened up.
And she was great.
She was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
She was so good. And,
Fucking hungry.
Yeah.
And he's fucking riding on the fucking name.
And
He
she's got
so
life
is right
experience as well, I'm
You know?
sure.
And
Where
you-
this
you
moved.
fucking...
Oh, it was so... And I just kept thinking of you because I know your hatred for the Wayans
I
family.
can't stand that fucking...
If it had been Damon, that'd been one thing.
Damon
Damon
Wayans
Wayans is fucking brilliant.
Fucking brilliant. I could sit there and watch fucking, the original fucking In Living Color stuff and still, to this day, 25 years later?
His stand-up is
fucking
phenomenal,
still
too,
laugh
yeah.
my ass off, dude. His fucking little brothers in there, they just fucking suck,
The
man.
oldest one was funny, too. Keenan Ivory Wayans
Yeah.
was great, too.
Yeah.
Like, those guys, like, their shit was brilliant across the board. And then
Right.
the 2 younger ones that got into the Scary Movie and all that shit,
Oh, just
that's fucking terrible.
awful,
dude.
awful jokes. So yeah, I was sitting there, just kept thinking, God damn it, I should have listened to Steve this whole time. We could have gone anywhere else.
Yeah.
There's some great strip clubs right next to the Ontario Improv, too.
You know what?
There's a Costco over there. You could have just gone to Costco, had free samples.
That
Or,
would've
you know
been better.
what? You get like a hot dog and a fucking drink for like $2.50, and then you're like, I'm going to get some pizza too.
Right.
Like, I go there, $10, goddamn king of the table.
So
King of the table, this motherfucker. I got the chicken wrap too. Fuck.
So
Then you go
moral of the
inside and get
story.
a whole chicken for $5.
Yeah, don't ever fucking go see this guy. He is awful.
Yeah.
He is absolutely awful.
Did it feel like he was working shit out, or did it feel
No,
like
it
he
felt
was-
like he was taking shit from every comedy routine you've ever seen and trying to make it his own.
Like he wasn't writing. It didn't like there was not a good new original joke anywhere in there.
There might have been like one thing in there that was somewhat fresh.
But it was just buried with the crap.
But I literally sat there at the end and I'm like, my God, I've seen every one of these fucking jokes before.
Yeah.
Like, how hacky is that shit?
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing where you pull something from somebody and you make it a little bit different. Like it was, like let's make fun of the accent of the Filipino girls and let's make fun of the nail thing, and it was really, really fucking terrible.
Well,
so,
I'm gonna try to go see Joe Rogan. He's gonna be in Riverside.
At the Riverside Live.
Yeah, I'm
that's
gonna
an
go
expensive ticket, dude.
Is it?
Yeah,
I haven't looked
You
into
got
it.
Kevin Hart too coming out there.
Oh, well, I mean, are they gonna have like a stage or a lift or something that I'll be able to see him? Because
Kevin Hart.
Kevin
With downtown Riverside?
Downtown Riverside.
I might go see that actually.
That'd be kinda
like
cool.
Kevin Hart.
I'm kind of interested in that one too.
I tell you, dude,
when's
he
Joe
was.
Rogan, though?
I thought it was like in November or something like that. I have to
I
look
would
it
go
up
see
again.
that. I like
fucking-
Joe Rogan.
Kevin Hart, dude. He was on Howard not too long ago. Howard Stern, for those who don't know who I'm talking about. Fuck, dude, he's so goddamn funny.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's fucking great. He was a great guest. Man.
He ain't an actor, but he's a great stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Speaking of comedy routines, did you guys see the JT Miller one on HBO yet? Or TJ Miller?
No.
I tried, dude. I couldn't get through it. It was
I
awful.
haven't seen it.
It is not.
It's so awful.
There were a few moments that were funny, but he does a lot of absurdist humor, and I like absurdist humor, but it's like he had some moments, but goddamn, it was an hour of like, and there was a stretch of like 8 minutes where I'm like, oh, are we going somewhere with this? Or
Check out Bill Burr's new thing on Netflix.
Is it good?
Oh goddamn, dude, he's fucking awesome.
I love Bill Burr.
I love him, dude. He's a personal hero for me.
Real quick on since we're taking 2 minutes, we might as well talk another couple. The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling show, Glow, on Netflix.
I've heard good things about this show.
It was fucking good.
I used to watch Glow when I was a
Right?
kid,
So did I.
dude. Yeah.
So this fucking show, it's half hour each of the episodes, and there's 8 of them.
Yeah.
So you'll get through it. It's like watching a slightly long movie, or maybe there's 10, but it wasn't very long. I got through it in like 4 days,
Right.
Because I was like, I'll just watch another one. Okay, well, okay, cool. I'll just throw it, But this fucking show, dude, it's like, first off, I never realized how incredibly budget, like, it makes the budget tiger from the Walking Dead thing look like the most expensive prop that was in this goddamn thing.
Right.
Like, they put this together on an absolute shoestring, and there were so many great moments. And do you know who Mark Maron is, comedian?
Yeah.
I've heard the name.
He plays the promoter, and it's him and the girl from Community. What's her face?
Aubrey Plaza?
No, not Community, not
Oh,
Parks
yeah,
and
I'm
Rec.
thinking of
and why can't I think of her name? Because I absolutely love her. But she plays like basically the whole concept is like she's got a friend. She's been banging the friend's husband a couple times. The friend finds out, and she's a struggling actress who basically gets turned down for every job. Finally gets a call on something that's a little different, is excited about it, ends up being this wrestling thing. They get in a big fight in the ring, and the promoter guy's like, I see it, it's you two, like, you could be the stars of our show. And it's basically like their journey. So it's like, and he wants to write it up as like this sci-fi, like 100 years into the future with like all this plot, and the guy that's the producer is like, no man, no, it's like stereotypes, like this, like they have the welfare queen who's one of the wrestlers, and then they have Machu Picchu's like this, and it's like Lady Liberty and the fucking Russian girl, and it's like, but like watching this reminds me of every talk we've ever had about producers, because literally between at one episode they Allison Brie is her name. At one episode they go to they're like, how are we going to put this together? We've only got 5 weeks. So it's like the end of the episode, they come to the next episode, and the two guys are like getting out of their car, and they're like, and they're like, so we spent the whole weekend down in Palm Springs, and we're doing coke all weekend, and we fucking figured it out. And they're like, what? And they're like, we're going to put you guys in a hotel, and you're going to train for 5 weeks. And they're like, you had to go to a fucking hotel and do coke all weekend? And he's like, yes, this way you guys will be drug-free and focused. And it's like, but you guys got to do coke all weekend. What the hell? And there's a great moment where they're at the producer's party, or he's having a party at his house, and the robot, like from Rocky, comes out, Steve. And it's like, they're like, oh my God, it's a robot. And she's like, wait, I want to show you. And she's like pushing buttons, and a little drawer opens up on the bottom, and it's full of drugs. And they're like, oh my God, there's so many drugs, and this robot has drugs, you guys. And then it's like later in the episode, like they're like, okay, come on, it's got to release more. There's got to be more drugs in here. And like all the drugs are gone.
Right.
Like, but it's like, you know, like a pound of cocaine and like all the uppers and downers and anything you could do. But yeah, how this show ever got produced, fucking beyond. None of these people knew anything about wrestling. They literally just got together, and the one girl had like a wrestling family. Yeah. But she was like had stage fright, you know, and then they hired a wrestling guy, but they fired him because he was too expensive. Like he was there for like a week, and they're like, you gotta go, we can't afford you. And yeah, it just like the whole thing, you're like, I have no clue. And so it just doesn't make any sense how this ever became a thing, because it was so poorly run. But what a great fucking show.
Is it like a documentary almost?
No.
Or like a biopic type thing?
Kind of, yeah.
If we have any younger listeners out there, go and rent or pick up or watch on whatever tablet you've got Weird Al's UHF.
We've talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
There was a time in this world where TV was like that. Okay, you'd find the most bizarre shit, dude. Like in the middle of the night on the fucking weekends and stuff. These weird fucking shows, wrestling. I remember the first time, like I had never even heard Howard Stern on the radio because he was, you know, East Coast New York, and he had his Channel 9 show.
I'm not familiar with
it. It was in the middle of the night. I mean, this was back in the fucking days, late 80s, very early 90s. Where the crap that they were doing on the radio, they were recreating and putting it on this fucking show. It was almost like a little bit of, it was like the radio show meets a variety show. It was crazy. You're like, what the fuck am I watching?
I've never heard of this.
This is fucking awesome, man. You know, Glow, you know, this women's wrestling, and it was really weird, very cheaply done and stuff, you know. Or you had your fucking Joe Bob drive-in theater show, where
or like the one where it was like classic old horror movies that were out of print, you know, that you couldn't buy on VHS, and then they would show them at like 11 o'clock.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, that's
56,
how I got into the horror stuff in the first place, was finding this crap in the middle of the night, these weird shows.
Didn't Elvira have a show like that?
Oh yeah, dude,
that's
for
where
sure.
you had her, right?
Yeah.
Like I always trip out because it's like I ask myself, why doesn't anybody produce stuff like that now? It can't be that expensive to produce,
right.
You know. And like your own content seems to be where it's at, so just do it on a more budget scale. I think people, like, as much as people watch fucking Adult Swim for like the worst Flash animation I've ever seen, you know, that turns into stuff. It's like you can't spend the same amount on like a live action like weekly or something.
Yeah,
there
were actually shows out there like Wayne's World.
Yeah.
What they were doing in the basement in that show. I mean, that's where they got the fucking idea for the goddamn skit.
Right?
You know, I mean, these
cable access shows.
Cable access shows all across the country were weird and bizarre. Well, God, man, it was probably about 15 years ago. I work in the cable industry. We have a studio on site. I was in talks one time many years ago about doing a cable access horror show.
Is that still something that can happen?
No, not anymore.
They don't do that Channel 3 anymore,
yeah,
do
we
they?
don't. We do like a public access thing, but it's all government talk.
That's so weird. Like,
yeah.
Like, you just, like, come on and do, like, you know, the bad interview show.
At the time, like, you know, the guy I was talking to, like, we were talking about, like, building some set pieces and stuff and, like, the whole thing. And then he ended up moving on in his career, and then that idea just kind of died. But
do you still have the studio in your building?
Oh, yeah.
Do they use it for anything?
Probably once or twice a month. Yeah, we'll have.
Why don't we talk to them and we'll do the Nerdlife Crisis, Steve?
Right.
Cable access.
Can't we just set up a camera on the corner? Isn't that what everybody else does, and just put it on YouTube now?
Yeah, but I want to do it with like the bad chairs and like.
Oh, we have that,
like,
dude. Between two ferns,
right?
You know, I mean, we totally have
just
that shit,
like,
dude.
Welcome back to the Nerdlife Crisis.
We have this big green screen in the back because what they do a local CNN edition.
Do they really?
In there, yeah. I fucking love it when they do it too, because when I come out to go to lunch and I walk through these motherfuckers, they're like, "Oh my god, is this guy gonna fucking mug us?"
All the squares are there.
All the squares, dude. Love it.
Like, I don't understand goggles. I'm
Yeah.
dead serious, dude. You look into that, Steve. I will do a cable access
That would
show.
be rad,
like,
dude.
just even if we just did it one time, it would be
Yeah.
the greatest one-time experience ever. And I got some local fucking director type friends that do film and shit. That would
I'll
totally,
ask. There's a lady who still runs it in there. I'll see. I'll
Dude,
give her a.
I would laugh.
holler.
That would be we could get an audience of our friends to come and watch, but we'd have to do it clean. That would be the hardest part.
Oh my! I don't even know if I can do that, dude.
Couldn't we use bleeps?
No, we'd have to. Could you imagine? Like, first off, we'd have to do it clean, which means we'd like no F-bombs out of us, which is probably the hardest thing ever.
Hey.
Not for Chris as much, because he like self bleeps himself. He goes, and then this guy told me. I think Chris hiccuped or something over there.
I'm rambling off. Like I'll be out somewhere and I'm just like fucking fuck this, fuck that. I looked at him like, how old's your fucking kid, man? Like 8, fucking 9, and I'm saying it just 8 or fucking 9.
I had this.
Shit. I'm
I had-
sorry.
I had this problem the other night at softball. I was with one of the guys that's on his team, and he's got a kid that's 4 and 6, like these boys. And I'm like, this motherfucking, and I'm all, sorry. And then I was like, and then I went over here and this fucking, sorry. and then they're like, don't you have a kid? I'm like, yeah. Fuck him. He's fine.
I'm always like, your kids are watching bukkake videos on.
Yep.
They're googling this shit. They're not learning nothing from me. Trust me.
Oh man. Well, all right. Does anyone have anything they want to rant about aside from the Wayans brothers?
That was it for me.
No? All right, man. Steve, anything else?
I could go on, but I'm gonna save it.
No.
All right. Well, this has been a fun double episode. So I
Yeah.
hope you guys have enjoyed the second half of this because we ended up doing 2 hours, which means we're going to
shit.
split it in 2. But we hope you guys have enjoyed the show today.
Hey, before you
Jesus
do
Christ.
that, come see us at the next convention. What's the next one?
Oh yeah, we're doing Long Beach here pretty soon.
No. Before that, Palm Springs. We are going to be printing up a version of the Nerdlife Crisis bingo cards, so you can play at home. Nerdlife Crisis bingo, and if you don't know what we're talking about,
Check out the Facebook
gotta-
page. I
you gotta go to
forgot
the
about
Facebook
that. We had a
page.
listener. That made a Nerdlife Crisis bingo card, and
Yeah.
some of the brilliant things on the card, such
Very
as
much.
Ron talks about how much he quote unquote loved the story. There's a square that's all Steve is disappointed by something his child did. Steve is proud of something violent his child did. Chris whines about something. Like it's like this.
Chris is mad about something and nobody else is.
Or Chris doesn't like something, but then once I think about it, I kind of don't either.
So yeah, there's a bingo card available on our Facebook page that a listener created. So Chris and I talked about. That's right. We're gonna print some up. So if you come by the booth. The Inland Blue booth, we will give them to you for free if you ask. We'll have a bunch of them printed up. So, and I'm sure this last episode, I went out of my way though to not make a mention of how much I love the story on anything. But
I didn't even talk about any of the violence my kids have been
no, we
haven't
enacting
done
on
any
each
dumb
other
shit in a
lately.
while.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Well,
we'll do that next time around.
we did take the kids up to the Alpine slides.
Yeah, we went to Big Bear with our kids over the
Yeah.
weekend.
But they didn't do anything dumb except for refusing to. Like the picture that your wife took looks like they are the most joyous, loving children on the planet.
But what was I doing to get that out of them, huh?
It was like these children, like Vin is sticking his tongue out at Steve because he doesn't want to take a picture. My son is just sitting there,
Like he's literally, one of them is turning his fucking back to me. And if he could give me the finger, he would have given me the finger.
That's funny.
All right. I mean, they were just like, they were done, and they were out of ice cream. We were out of tickets for the ride. They were like, you guys suck now.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife's trying to get him to take a picture. And finally I was like, I got like arms up in the air, making googly fucking faces. And then they turn and they're like,
There's like this moment in time where we
and
got,
I'm
she got that
like,
picture.
and it's such a bunch of bullshit, man.
Yep.
Because as soon as I stopped doing that, they were like, fuck you again.
Yep.
Yeah. I want more ice cream.
Yes, there was,
You suck.
there was definitely a lot of sugar high going on there. But have you done these Alpine slides before, Steve? I loved it, dude.
That was a good time.
It was a good time.
That's
If you
good.
haven't done it, it's basically like a toboggan. And there's no steer in this thing. It's like break or go. So you can go full speed all the way down and flip off the side of this goddamn thing if you hit it just right.
And you're trying to control the cart, the speed, and you're trying to hold on to a fucking 4-year-old, and
Right.
I'm filming with my phone at the same time,
Right.
So
it
but
was
I would
good.
totally suggest it if you get a chance. It's like basically it works out. You can do it for $6 a ride, or you can do a ticket of $5 for $25.
Oh.
So it worked out to $5 a ride basically. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
good
cool.
times. All right. Well, now that Chris tangented in for just a second, I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. We had a good time presenting it for you. Once again, I am Ron Milts. King of the North.
Chris Wayons.
I'm just fucking Steve this week. I got
All right.
nothing.
We hope you guys are having a Nerdlife Crisis. Music for the Nerdlife Crisis podcast is provided by Big Papa and the TCB. All music available at bptcb.com or at iTunes. The Nerdlife Crisis is recorded at the Inland Blue Studios. Make sure to subscribe to the Nerdlife Crisis at iTunes and like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nerdlife Crisis.